Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video over on PrizePicks. I got my three favorite plays in this one. We're talking WNBA and MLB. It's going to be an insane day Monday, guys. We got some really good picks, honestly. But first up, drop a like on this one. It takes you 2 seconds, completely free. Let's try to get to 20 likes in this video. And now let's talk about what happened yesterday, guys. We smacked out literally every single play. I sent this out to the VIP, a 30-unit nuke on Spain to win the World Cup. Ended up winning the World Cup. Got the job done. Congrats to everybody who was rooting for Spain. Glad they won. They were definitely the better team the whole way through. And not just that, we cashed out the free picks as well. So if you guys hit the YouTube video play yesterday, I sent out 3 plays on PrizePicks. I told you guys, take it as a 3-man power play on Prize, and we cashed out 3-0. If you hit this slip, drop a comment down below, let them know. Because guys, we literally went 3-0, super clean, super easy. And it wasn't just that, because now we're on a 3-day streak on hitting our free picks. We hit the Brewers money line on Friday, the Brewers money line again on Saturday. And then just yesterday, we hit no on both teams to score. Argentina ends up not scoring at all. And this was such a good read. Honestly, the unders were 100% the move, and no on both teams to score. I told you guys, definitely lock this one in, and we cashed that out with ease. Now, let's talk about the VIP recap. By the way, guys, I'm recapping the day from yesterday. This is one thing I will always do on the channel, no matter what, because transparency is the most important thing. A lot of people online are going to show their wins and be loud about it and never show their losses. That's not what we're like on this channel. On the VIP, we sent out a few plays. Honestly, none of them have cashed just yet, but these are long shot plays. We got very close here with Showmaker literally getting the last kill of the game. Super unfortunate there that he goes over. Honestly, very, very unlucky, but it is what it is. And then here we got perfect correlation up top, perfect correlation down below, but this one we took the wrong side. Perfect correlation here, and these guys haven't finished up their games yet. A lot of games haven't finished yet, but we did at least come out of the day with 1 green, which was this one with Messi and Herrera. Messi ends up getting his pass, and Herrera went on his runs. That was a couple of days ago. So a very, very good day, honestly, on the VIP. Could have been better, but the biggest win of the day was the Spain nuke to win the World Cup. Got the job done over there. And then, of course, our free picks lay just cashed out. And we're sending out 3 more free picks today, so make sure you're locked in. Now, let's talk about these straight picks. Every single one of these straight picks we've been taking over on REBET. And REBET is an app that I partner with, and you guys can go ahead and get 2 free months of my VIP once you sign up for REBET using code FFBAM. Because guys, I want you guys to get on this app. It is honestly one of the better apps I've seen for just straight amount of picks that they have available. REBET has so many markets, so many options. And if you're the kind of guy who really likes getting deep into the research and seeing not just your basic money line or spread total, but you really want to see, I guess I was going to give examples for soccer, but the real in-depth markets, REBET is definitely the book for you. If you really want to get into the research, get into the weeds of things, pick on markets that most people aren't even looking at, definitely get on this app. And even if you just want to score 2 free months of VIP, hop on REBET using code FFBAM, and they're also going to double your deposit up to $100. So if you put in $100, you're getting $200 when you start off with, basically making whatever you put in just right back. There's no reason not to do it. And if you're in any one of these orange states, you're good to go. So lock in on REBET, use code FFBAM, and then you'll get 2 free months of VIP picks. And guys, this VIP is solid. Of course, this is one screenshot I showed last month in the June. Just taking one of our sports books, so literally just one of our sports books, just taking our World Cup picks, we went up $1,400, and this is third-party tracked on Pickett. Of course, we send out picks for several sports books, but I just want to show you guys this one thing in June last month. Literally just taking World Cup picks, we made a lot of money, and this is on the VIP. All of these were only sent to the VIP, so if you're only watching the YouTube videos, you're not going to get these picks. But if you lock in on REBET for 2 months, like if you lock in, you get 2 free months of VIP, no reason not to do it. Also, once you guys DM me the word REBET to 91930711980, I'll just text you guys right back and get you on the VIP for 2 months. Even if you, just DM me this word. I'll help you get signed up. Super simple, super easy. And now let's get into the plays for today. First play of the day, we're taking the Blue Jays on the money line up against the Rays. I like this one in over on REBET, of course. I absolutely love the Blue Jays today. You got Dylan pitching, and this one is going to be very, very solid. I mean, honestly, minus 150 is good. I think fair value for this, maybe even minus 180. I think getting it minus 150 is a bit of a steal. I just don't see a world where the Rays win this. I could go more in depth in it, but honestly, this one is just I'm not going to say the word lock, but I think this one is very, very profitable for the value that we're getting it at, and that's where I'm going to leave it. And we're also on a 3-0 stretch on these REBET picks that I'm giving out on the YouTube plays. So let's try to go 4-0 and cash out with the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Now, let's get into the MLB plays of the day. We're doing 1 MLB pick and then 2 WNBA picks. And we're going to start it off in the MLB with Jacob deGrom right here on the over on 1.5 earned runs allowed. So 1.5 earned runs allowed. This one honestly one of the better picks I've seen in the MLB right now. It is 5-0 in his last 5 games. He's 5-0 in the last 5 games going on the over here. And if we just look at this entire season, right, probably best to get a bigger sample size, 18 game sample size. He's cashed in 10 of them. And honestly, if you look at it, the main times where he was going under on this, right, obviously having good days pitching, was right here at the beginning of the season. For 5 out of his first 6 games, he went on the under. And in this case, if you just look at his last 10 games, he's gone on the over in 8 of these last 10. And he's consistently, sometimes even getting more than that. 4 earned runs allowed, 6 earned runs allowed, 6 earned runs allowed. It makes sense why we like this one on the over for Jacob deGrom. Additionally, is it the strongest, team that he's going to go up and pitch against? I would say no. Probably not the strongest team. If we look at this, pitch arsenal, I guess, and, just looking at the opposing team, it's not the strongest. But if we just really look at all of these players and compare it to, their season stats, it's not horrible. It's genuinely not horrible. And I mean, I could go through every single batter, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. If we just look at the average of them all, it's pretty similar. You look at the heat maps, you can get it around there. But when it comes to this, where it's just a whole bunch of batters averaging together, looking at these individual pitches is not really all that helpful, honestly. So going back to this stat, this is probably the most important stat. The head-to-head, he's cashed this. Obviously this was over a year ago, but the most important thing is last 5, last 10 for a guy like deGrom. It's a streaky game, baseball. So I do like this one on the over at 1.5 earned runs allowed. That's going to be our first play of the day. We're building out a 3-man lay. So let's get into play number 2. We're going over to Paige Bueckers right here. I like this one on the over at 28.5 points and assists. She's also had a pretty good last 5, but let's look at the more in-depth stats in this scenario. She started off the season pretty cold, honestly, not really hitting form, not really hitting this line very much, except for a couple pop-off games here and there. But now, towards the back half of the season, not only has her minutes gone up from around, low 30s to consistently, 33 plus, she has also been producing more. And in this case, that is exactly what we love to see. I mean, look at this, right? First 10 games of the season has hit the over twice, maybe once or twice. Last 10 games, hitting the over in 8 out of these last 10 games. This is one of the better matchups she'll also face as well. If you look at points and assists, right? Obviously, the Liberty are a very good team. But if you look at the points allowed, they're middle of the road. And if you look at the assists allowed, they're actually towards the bottom in this case. So if you narrow it down to just guards, right? Not guards, forward, centers, right? Narrow it down to just the guard position. The Liberty are actually a pretty bad defense in points and assists. So this should be a very, very good spot for Bueckers to go ahead and strike on a relatively weaker defense. Also, if we just look at her last little form right here, literally just the last 3 games, honestly, 30 plus in every single one of them. All we need is 29 in this case. And this is also meant to be a very, very close game. This is one thing you love to see. When it's going to be a close game like this, they're literally 3.5 point underdogs. She'll probably stay in for a lot of the game. She'll probably get a lot of minutes in this one, a lot of play time. And I mean, if she gets anywhere near 33 plus minutes in this game, I think it's an easy over. So yeah, that's going to be play number 2. And now getting into play number 3, we're going over to Coffee on the under at 8.5 points. This is Nia Coffee going up against Seattle at 10 p.m. We like this one on the under for a few reasons. Mainly, this line is just set too high. This should honestly be sitting more around 7.5 or 6.5. Maybe 6.5 too low. Maybe around 6.5, 6 or 7 or 7.5 is what I'm trying to say. But this line is set up at 8.5, right? Clearly, she's one of those players that has pop-off games, right? 13 points out of nowhere, 20 points out of nowhere, 22 points out of nowhere. But the average, the baseline, is nearly 6 points, 7 points here. And it's not like her minutes are going ridiculously up. Of course, she has some pop-off games when it comes to her minutes. But if you just look at the average of the minutes, it's really sitting around 20 to 22 minutes every single game. Average is saying 26.5 because she's had a few pop-off games here. But if you really want to average it, probably 23, 24 minutes. This one on the under makes way too much sense. In 8 of the last 10 games, she's hit the under, and she had literally those 2 games where she hit the over, she just barely hit the over at exactly 9 points. The average that she's been getting is 5 points in the last 10 games, and this line is set up at 8.5. Yeah, not a very good look right here. Is the defense the best defense in the world? No, of course. Yeah, you'd love to see if it was just a great defense out there, she won't score any points. But at the end of the day, I definitely still like this one for Coffee. If you look at the season stats, probably the most important thing. She's hit the under in 70% of the games this season. That is an absolutely gargantuan number that you cannot really overlook. This one makes way too much sense to take on the under. And this is going to be the last play of the day. We like coffee on the under 8.5 points. And before I let you guys go, please, for the love of God, do not take this as a flex play. Flex play, 3-mans on PrizePicks absolutely suck. Mathematically, they are the worst slip type on all of PrizePicks, bar the 2-man power play, but do not take flex plays as 3-mans. Or 3-mans as flex plays. They're just fine as a power play. It makes a lot of sense to take it as a power play right here. Do not play it as a flex play. So that's all I got for this one. We get paid out 6x if we go with 3-0. And one thing I want to make clear, guys, we literally just swept 3-0 yesterday. And if we're getting paid out 6x, not obviously for all of them, but if we're getting paid out around 6x for every single slip, that means that we could literally lose 3 or 4 days in a row and then hit one and then be profitable. So if you guys say we lose this entry today, right? It doesn't really matter, because if we go and lose another one and then lose another one and then cash the next one, we're up, right? So you guys got to think about it a little bit more long term. I'm not saying think 3 months down the line, even though obviously that would be good. Don't think that long ahead. Just think this week, right? If we can cash 2 slips this week out of these 7 plays that I'll send out, we are making a good bit of money. Do not think about just today, because if this one play ends up missing, if we get unlucky, of course we're going to miss it, but we just need to hit more than 1 out of 6 in order to be profitable. And that's all I got for this one. I appreciate y'all watching the video. Let's make some money on the MLB and WNBA on Monday.